I'm a notoriously late gift giver, so I'm about to paint my friend's lizard for them for Christmas.
1, 2.
If you can't tell, it's 1:24 a.m. in February. But this is fake. I haven't painted in a long time, which is really weird because like being an artist used to be like such a core part of my identity, and then I stopped doing it for some reason. But I want to try to relearn how to like do all this, I guess. So it's gonna be just a small painting, but I figured I'd walk through the process, and I'm kind of excited. It's humbling getting back into drawing and painting, because at least with digital art, I have like the excuse of like, oh, I've never done this before. It's all so new. And so when I'm like ready at it, it's like, yeah, well, of course you've never done it before, you know? But when it's something that you used to be good at, that now you're like bad at, not only have you made no improvement, you've like gotten worse just because you haven't done it in like genuinely in probably like 6 years. So I'm pretty rusty. I'm very rusty. And it's just going to be a matter of learning again, which is totally fine. It's just time flies. Time flies. It's crazy. But yeah, let's do it. Okay, I have my little craft room work section. Got some sketchbooks and ignore my papers. I got a little canvas. That's not a canvas. Easel for display and little baby canvas. I'm thinking I want it to kind of be spacey but fun. Like I'm thinking, so the lizard is like a yellow green and she has these like gray purple dots on her. And I'm thinking I'm gonna abstract away from that a little bit, like almost spacey, but in a bright way. Like I want to use like kind of a brighter yellow and orange and pinks and purple. I don't know, like desert, but like bright. You'll see what I mean when I show you a color palette. Actually, it's such a small canvas that I might even just use paint pens. So let me show you what colors I'm thinking. Yeah, I think these are all the colors I want to use. So I'm trying to figure out how to place some of these colors right now, not just how well they work together, but where I would want some of them in like in a majority setting. So I think I'm going to play around with some color blocking, and I'll show you in a second what that looks like. Here, I'm going to let you in on some coloring ASMR because it sounds nice. So I'm getting some color blocking down, but not showing my hands because I have really flimsy nails, and I was just cleaning a lot today and it ended up ripping up my nails pretty bad, so they look gross right now. I'm gonna shut up so you can hear the ASMR. Oh, that's such a fun shadow. Oh, hold up. Okay, wait. Oh man, not the yellow purple coming in clutch. Well, I almost don't want to I almost don't want to use purple as like the spot color anymore, but that's lore accurate. Maybe I do a blue instead. This is fun. This is fun. Oh my god. Wait, art is fun? Oh, that's ridiculous. That can't be true. All the Japanese that was before, that was from one of my, well, she's not really my auntie, but like, you know, I claim her. I'm claiming her. She's one of my aunties. She's helping me do, instead of like state flowers, just like the prefecture flowers. And I can't read Japanese very well. She was helping me like just look online because I didn't really know how to go about finding that information online. And she was so sweet. She wrote it all down for me, like the English name and without any kanji. It was so sweet. Yeah, it's definitely 2 a.m. Just thinking about that made me want to cry. She's the best. Okay, these colors look nice so far, but they're not super grounded, so I need to add something, and I don't know what that something is quite yet. So let's see if I can figure it out. Ooh, okay. Well, I'll show you what I've been doodling. And it even shows up differently like through the camera than it does like just the naked eye. It's so hard to tell. So like over here, I'm looking like on the left side, sorry. I'm just wanting to see like base colors versus maybe like the spots and like the shadows. I'm really liking this idea, but I've always just really like complementary colors. Like the pink with the blue is also really charming to me, but I just like that tealish blue as well. So that's kind of, that specific combo with the purple just makes him look like what's his name? The Monsters Inc., the big kitty. So I probably wouldn't do that specific combo, but I think I do want to use it as an accent color. I want to use star motifs, maybe like a lot of motion lines. I feel like that could be really cute. I think I have a better idea of the color combos I want to use. So I'm gonna get to the drafting process and we'll check in from there. Okay, so this isn't the composition I'm gonna end up using. I just kind of wanted to make myself engage with lizard shape more than I have thus far. The one on the right's abysmal. Just was me trying to not reference image it, and Fig's not a snake, and for some reason that looks like a sock puppet snake, like the sand boas, you know. I don't like the line in the background, like of the between the two kinds of pinks, but I do like both of the pinks, and I like them both with that lighter green. So it's good to know that like works for me, I guess. I think that I like the two yellows to give some texture. I think I kind of like, I do quite like the light yellow with the light purple. I'm still not super sure how I feel about the dark purple to make the shapes, but maybe I'll make the shapes a little bit more fun too. I'm still deciding. I'm really not quite sure. But I like it with the tealish blue as well. I feel like that looks really nice. I don't know if I like it with the red very much, but I think I would be more partial to it if it was more, this isn't the best word for it, but I guess impressionist, or if you could see more visible brush strokes instead of it being color blocking. Or if I do color blocking, then just for there to be more blocks of color. The time of day is starting to really catch up with me, and I have things to do tomorrow that make this really irresponsible for me to be awake still, but you know, it just seemed fun. So yeah, I will probably return to this tomorrow and it'll give me something to play around with. So we'll see you then. Ta-da! So I drew Fig. I remembered that I can draw digitally, which is cool. And I figured that'd be a good play to play around with motifs and color and whatnot. And I look fine. Happy that I did this digitally. Remember that the point of this project was to try traditional drawing more again. So I'll just use this in the thumbnail or something. Or at least to give me a baseline for some of the color references. Abandon the desert idea entirely, it would seem, and favor space, because now I'm thinking, what if I make her an astronaut? That could be kind of fun. So, have little Fig sketches. Traditional is hard. Let me tell you something. You can't just undo a line. You have to go in and erase it. It's funny bouncing back and forth between the two. It kind of feels like when you bounce back and forth between like glasses and contacts, except with like art instead of, you know, your vision. So I am going to color some of these and I'll let you know what I think as I do it, I guess. Okay, gonna start. Sometimes you remember that art's fun, and that's a really nice feeling. It makes me really happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I still have passions? No, stop. Me? Who, me? No, but it's true, I do, sometimes, occasionally. I've been known to, on occasion, have a passion. Crazy, it's crazy. I haven't taken an art class since high school, man. I don't remember anything you're supposed to do anymore. I don't even remember why you do it. I'm sure that it's just because you'll have to like repaint over things less. But man, you see these videos on Instagram that are like, actually, you know, the primary colors that you learned are all wrong. And I'm like, man, maybe I actually don't know shit about art. It's not red, yellow, and blue. It's like the printer colors. It's cyan, magenta, and yellow. And I'm like, man, like, respect yellow for the staying power, but also, what do you mean? Why are red and blue out of a job? Here, look, I switched to just filling in background because it just takes a minute to dry. So that's our check-in. Yippee! It just makes you feel so good to make something. Like, okay, also, I'm doing all this like a few days later, after like the first time I recorded, and I started editing the initial footage. I don't know what I was on. I was so emo. It was kind of funny to look back on. I guess that's the difference between like 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., but it made me laugh. Inside me there are two wolves, and one of them is a top 10% poster on the I'm 14 and This Is Deep subreddit. I don't know where this joke is going. I can't yap and draw. I gotta get locked in. Fundamentally incapable of multitasking is actually what the takeaway here is. Okay, I finished the bottom three. I'm a little bit lost in the sauce, so I need to take a break. But, oh god, wait. I was happy about the little space theme before, but I've drawn enough of these little fishbowl space helmets now that I'm no longer having fun. I think I'm kind of partial to the middle one. The far right is closer to the digital I did for the lizard's color scheme. The middle one is still pretty similar to that, but I just changed a few things around, and I think I like that. I like mixing it up with the far left, though. I think that particular combination isn't really speaking to me, but it's making me want to try out more color combos, so I don't really know. So I'm holding my arm over it because the lighting is really glaring. It's still kind of drying. Yeah, the left one's still kind of drying, you can tell. Yeah, we'll give it a little bit of a break. I'm going to come back to it, see if I feel ready to engage with the other ones. I definitely am going to do a colored pencil layer first, though. I think that would be a lot more helpful than just jumping into it. Okay, colored pencil sketching. I feel like it makes it a little easier to get an idea of the colors I want to use before like hard committing. I think if I do a little like fishbowl helmet, it'll end up being like the far left one where I don't super have to incorporate anything except like an outlined line, but we'll see how that looks. Alright, there she is. I think I just already liked the lines on the left one better. I didn't want to redo it again, especially because I don't really love the spot coloring I chose on the right side. I'll figure out an amalgamation of all these color choices to narrow down, but so far, top left and bottom middle are some kind of combination of that is what I think I'm going to be going for. Although I do really like the contrast that you can see with the bottom left, so we'll see. I think I'm going to end up painting this, so we'll see how this comes together. Another weekday night, a little irresponsibly late. I started in with a paint marker, got the sketch done. Let's get started. Okay, last night I finished doing paint pen as a first layer on the canvas after working on the sketch. I'm gonna, I think, go over and paint it, but I think I'm pretty comfortable with how these colors turned out, like assuming it's gonna be pretty comparable to these. So yeah, also over here, do you wanna see what I just dug out from just a bunch of my old stuff? I might be spreading lies on the internet. I think that this is the last piece I worked on before I stopped painting back in, gosh, like 2020, maybe even 2019. Like at least when it comes to like acrylics or oils. Look at that. I think the chicken's actually really cute. There's chalk all over it because I guess I drafted all this in chalk. This is definitely oil paint. And it's also definitely just painted on top of like a cheaper canvas that used to have just like inspirational quotes on it. Because I remember that. But I did it in chalk and then I stopped. I think I'm gonna finish it. Hey, maybe I'll finish this for a video one day. But first, back to Fig. These are my 5-year-old paints. You may notice that they are all the same brand except red. I used to have it literally like a week ago. I tried cracking it open. Something was growing in there. I don't know what happened with the red. It was bad. But let's get started. Okay, break one. I moved to the floor because I remembered that this is... Here, I'll draw it for you. My go-to painting position used to be I'd either find a sturdy table and I'd sit on it, or I would sit on the floor, because I don't know why, but I kind of feel like I'm definitely older now, like it's not as comfy on my back, but it's still definitely where I feel the most comfortable painting. Anyway, background is done. Paint. Guy. Let's get going. One last drying check, then I'm gonna put the helmet details on, and then, final details. Meet you there. Ja-da! Fig! It's the painting. It's done. I think. I'm gonna sleep on it. But I think it's done. Okay, looking at it today, I think I feel the same as last night, which is I'm gonna call it. I think it's done. Considering how rusty I know I am with the medium, I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. Of course, there's a lot of changes I would make if I, were to do this again, but that's how you learn. And I think this was really good practice and learning, and I'm really happy that I sat down and did this. I think if I were to do this again, I would want finer and more spaced out line work in the background, maybe higher color contrast in a way that didn't feel quite so sporadic. I think I'm looking for the word vibrance. I probably should have also recorded audio while I was painting, like while I was sketching, but I was kind of locked in. I didn't really have much to say. I hope that gave a good insight of the process though. This was not, in the past I used to really sketch out the whole piece, and so I never had a question of, oh, am I done yet? Because when it was done, I had the whole thing planned out meticulously from the beginning. Did not do that this time. And I know this is a lot more of a casual piece. But interesting to see how it affects the process for sure. If you're an artist and you have any feedback, or if you're not an artist and you have feedback, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, I think that's just about it. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me for this ride. It was kind of scary, but I'm really glad I did it. I appreciate you giving me some of your time, and stay safe out there. Have a wonderful day. Bye.